copying, it makes one thing more. That's what copying's for. Copying is not theft. If I copy yours...
My ideas about copyright were I believed that it protected me.
One of the main questions of my dissertation is looking at the relationship between ethics and the free and open source software movements. And obviously there's a very strong ethic for information freedom. What they have done is they've created the social and legal terms to cultivate technological production.
Freedom doesn't protect itself. You can give people freedom, but if they don't value it, they'll lose it.
The patent laws and the copyright laws are basically about 17th and 18th century conditions implemented in 19th century ways and then redeployed in the 20th century to meet 21st century problems.
Open source will allow individuals to have greater control.
Personally, for me, I don't want my heart to be relying on closed source code that hasn't been reviewed.
It kind of breaks my heart that software and the rest of culture are so separate from each other, because they're really not that different. They're just culture. The same principles apply to software and the rest of the cultural world. Films are disintegrating in cans. Film negatives, they can't be preserved because no one can spend the money preserving them because it would violate copyright if they ever showed it. This is just killing art. There's so much culture that's been lost. It's heartbreaking.
Part of the problem has been getting people to understand that this is not an anti-copyright movement. Right? This is, in fact, a pro-copyright movement. It's a movement that's about making copyright make sense in the digital age.
All of these companies that wanted us to shut down only wanted it because we kind of ruined their business model.
And we took American Gods, a book that was still selling and selling very well, and for a month they put it up completely free on their website, and you could read it and you could download it, and what happened was sales of my books through independent bookstores, because that was all we were measuring it through, went up the following month 300%.
A gig, and a guy comes up to me and hands me a $10 bill. He says, "I'm sorry, I burned your CD from a friend." But I read your blog, I know you hate your label, I just want you to have this money. And this starts happening all the time.
So there's a lot of new thinking when it comes to business models on the internet.
And the model is that content is free. Zeros and ones are free, and here's a river of zeros and ones. Containers, however, are not free. Here are some examples of containers. You have a computer, a disk, a book. These are physical things. These are things that you might consider dead, like the content in them is alive, but the container is not alive, it's property, that's fine. They are not free. That's how artists make money now, not from hoarding the content, but from actually having good relations with the fans. And sharing your work with fans is beneficial for everybody. The fans distribute the work, and they support you. It's awesome.